What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about Mydei and how he has changed from the first time that we talked about him. And let me tell you, he got a lot better. So if you enjoy this type of content, let me know by liking the video and leaving the comment section below, and consider subscribing to the channel. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. Essentially, not much has changed when it comes to the playstyle of Mydei. He's still the same HP scaling character that deals really good damage to the main target and to adjacent targets. The only difference, or the main key difference from the initial discussion in this discussion, is going to be that now he doesn't have the HP lost tally. He doesn't keep track of how much HP he has lost during the battle in order to fire off his big attack. Because previously he had the charge and then he also had the tally. But now those two things are combined, and then you pretty much reuse the charge multiple times to pretty much either go from normal form to the Vendetta form, and then from the Vendetta form, you charge again into your big God Slayer attack. His skills still drain his own HP. His first two skills still drain his own HP. The last skill does not. But we're going to take a look at it a little bit later. But just for a visual representation, he's still going to fire off his skill, pretty much chip away his own HP, and therefore charge himself. Once he gets to 100 charge, he's going to enter the Vendetta state, which that part is pretty much the exact same thing. Now, instead of keeping track of how much HP we're going to lose from now on, now we just get rid of that completely, and then the charge resets back to 0 or loses 100 charge, depending on how much it is. You lose 100 charge, you go into Vendetta, and now you're going to start doing it again. So you use your enhanced skill, your first enhanced skill, I think it's called Kingslayer or something, and then you're going to use that until you reach 150 charge, or 150% of your max HP, which at this point, it's 50% more of your regular HP, because he still gets the HP increase. Nonetheless, once you lose a lot of your HP, and once you get to 150 charge, you're going to immediately take action. This is very important. You're going to immediately take action and launch your super nuke God Slayer attack. Previously, once you got to the 100 charge, or once you triggered, or once you passed the threshold of your God Slayer attack, all you got was a 50% action advance. And now you get a 100% action advance. Actually, it's not even a 100% action advance. You immediately take action, which means you do not lose your place in the action order. And this is extremely important, because if you are going to speed tune him with Sunday, you're able to make him faster by 1 speed from Sunday, and he'll never desync from it, pretty much doubling your damage output, because you're going to be taking twice as many turns, essentially. So to reiterate, skill still does blast damage. He chips away his own HP. Once you get to 100 charge, he goes into Vendetta. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, when he goes into Vendetta, he also takes an extra, he takes a turn. Once he gets into Vendetta, he takes a whole turn. Boom, gets into Vendetta, does his skill. Once he gets to 150 charge, which is essentially 150% of his HP lost, he's going to take another turn, or immediately take action, not a turn. He's going to immediately take action and launch the God Slayer attack. With this, used to be one of his eidolons. I don't remember if it was the E1 or the E2, but this little thing right here used to be one of his old eidolons. I'm so glad that they put it into his own kit, which we're going to read right now. His skills, his basic, his ultimate got a little bit of a rework. It's pretty much the exact same thing, but now he gains this thing called Death Proof, and this essentially means that while he has Death Proof, he cannot die. So he's just immortal. Essentially, he's immortal. If you can fire off an ultimate every 2 turns, he is essentially immortal. He cannot die. That's essentially what Death Proof means. And this is the talent that allows him to not die when he has Death Proof. If Mydei has Death Proof while in Vendetta state, he will not exit the Vendetta state while receiving fatal damage. His current HP can reduce to a minimum of 1, which means he'll always have a minimum of 1 HP. He cannot go to 0. He cannot die. Very good quality of life there, because he was dying a little bit back before this update. Another major change here was going to be his talent right here. And essentially this whole part right here is essentially the same thing. Every 1 HP percent lost is 1 charge. Once you get to 100, you go Vendetta, your HP increases by 50%, and every time you take a turn, you do the Kingslayer be King, which is the enhanced skill number 1. Now this is where it changes. When charge reaches 150 points while in the Vendetta state, but it immediately gains 1 extra turn and automatically uses God Slayer Slayer be king or God Slayer be god. This extra turn means that he doesn't lose his place in the action order, which is fantastic. You don't have to mess around with the speed tuning too much to make it like align perfectly after the action order or after the extra turn. This automatic is kind of like Rappa, where she gains the turn and she can take 2 turns pretty much back to back if you have it set up like that. Now, if he does die and you're not in and you don't have death proof, he will revive for up to 50% of his max HP and lose the Vendetta state. And then if he dies again, then you know he just dies. Now, this is a little bit of a rework as well. For each 100 points of Mydei's max HP beyond 6,000, the charge Mydei receives from the enemy target's damage increases by 1.66% and incoming healing by 0.5, tallying up to 6,000 HP in excess. So essentially, you want him to have 12,000 or 12k HP after Vendetta, which means that you minimum want him to have at least 8k HP, because remember, you have 8k HP, you get a 50% HP increase. When you're in Vendetta, that makes it 12k, and it's really convenient because you need 8k HP or 8k HP to max out his crit rate buff, which gives him 48% crit rate if you get him to 8k. Now, another interesting thing about his talent is that his incoming healing is going to increase by about 30% when you have him fully built. This in conjunction with his new ultimate, his death proof, aside from not being able to die while you're in death proof, you also restore 10% of your max HP every time you get attacked. But since he upgrades its own outgoing healing by 30%, if you heal more than what you're getting hit for, then you're essentially, every time you get hit, you're essentially healing more. So you're healing as you get hit. So you're essentially you're never going to die. Essentially, he's immortal like ×2, unless you get hit with a very, very big single target hit. That's the only way I don't see him healing from hits. But every small mob hit, every single dot hit that you get, all those things are probably going to end up healing you most of the time if you have him built up correctly, which is a great quality of life. You don't have to worry about him dying pretty much ever. All right, going over the math portion of the video, we have our Mydei with his S1, the Sacerdo or Secreto set with the Rudolin Arena. I understand there's a new set that's supposed to be coming out soon. However, we don't have that yet. So I'm going to calculate it with the Rudolin Arena. And I know in the previous video, we calculated it with the Longevous Disciple set, but this set actually ends up being better if you play it the right way. Like if you hold your ultimate until you know that you're going to hit the big skill on the ultimate or after the ultimate, this set is actually a lot better than the Longevous Disciple. Now, this is with the signature Lycone, so this base HP of the Lycone is going to influence heavily because we are pretty much at the limit, at the minimum requirement for the 8k HP. So I will end up putting another video out because his Lycone actually matters, because it'll determine how much substat investment you're going to need on your Mydei or Mydei to actually get to the 8k mark. But for the purposes of this video, we are using his S1 because this is really good. You get 18%, I think it's 18% from the Lycone, 1376 from the Lycone flat stat, which is insane. We are running speed boost because in this particular calculation, we are running him with Sunday. And then if you are going to run him a Sunday, unless you are running a hyperspeed Sunday like 170 plus or 161 plus Sunday, then I don't really recommend running HP boots unless you absolutely need to max the HP out. For this one, we're running speed boots, HP orb and HP rope. This is better than just running the imaginary orb. And you really don't want to do energy recharge rope, even though he kind of depends on his ultimate to not die. You are going to get it in time to like not die. So you shouldn't worry about that. Also Sunday, and if you run Hua Hua, are also helping you with energy. So HP orb, HP rope is the best way to go. The imaginary orb actually is a lot worse because he heavily depends on his HP, and it's pretty much double dipping. Whenever any stat itself double dips and serves two purposes, it's always better to just double down on that stat. Like I said, 30% in subs. We shouldn't be too hard to get. You can make a combination of them because you also have flat HP increases, which can also be good. So I'm pretty sure you can get 30% in subs from relics. It should be pretty simple. As far as damage sources, we currently just have 80 right here, and this is all coming from him. 60 from his own Lycone, and then 20 is going to be from Rudolin Arena. I understand this Sacerdo set or the Secreto set gives him a lot of damage bonus as well, but that damage bonus, I added it in the table where for the skill because it only applies for his skill. All right, his crit is actually the easiest part to do, and this is one of the things I love about Mydei, that his talent gives him 48%, and then the relics that you're using give him 16. So just by those two, just by the talent and his relics, you get 64% total crit. So if you have one crit rate roll on every stat, you're going to get an extra 16%, give or take. So you are already going to be around 80%. And then if you run Sunday, which gives you 20%, you have a clean 99 point something or 100% total crit rate, which is just beautiful. So that's how we got 100% crit rate. Again, 48 from the talent, 16 from the 2 relic sets, buffs and substat rolls, 1 roll per piece, and then the buff from Sunday should give you close to 100% if you have everything the way you're supposed to. Now, as far as extra damage bonuses that we have currently right now, we are going to run this team with Tribi and Sunday because it's currently looking like it's going to be his best team. So this 85% damage bonus here is essentially all coming from Sunday. Sunday gives you 45, and with the signature light cone, 30 from his skill, and then 10 because when you run Sunday with Mydei, you don't want to run Lushaka, you essentially want to run the Penacony planar set for the 10% extra damage. Tribi is going to give you an extra rest pen of 24% and 30% vulnerability down here, which is incredible. We already talked about Tribi, so there's that. Now we are missing one more spot, and you know, since he is your main DPS and he has taunt, so people are going to attack him more often than not, no sustained teams with Mydei are actually going to be very viable. So I leave the last slot open to interpretation. You can put a Hua in there, you can put Ling Sha in there, you can put whoever you want in there. If you have him E1, you are going to want to have like Luocha in there or Ling Sha, because every healing turns into charge, and then you get to fire your Godslayer a lot more often. But nonetheless, with just that in mind, we are looking at the Godslayer hitting for 224k single target, almost 500k AoE. And I'm sure you've seen stuff where he hits for a lot more, but there's also a lot more stuff that are not being taken into consideration, like MOC buffs, enemies resistances, and stuff like that. So needless to say, his damage is looking really, really good. I'm actually like in awe about how much damage this boy's putting out. So if you're like me and you enjoy this type of character, this is going to be a fantastic pickup. I'm actually thinking about going for E2, but I don't know yet. Maybe I should go for E1. I don't know. Maybe you just leave me 0. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Also, let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about Mydei now? Is he a lot better? In my personal opinion, he is a lot better. The fact that he just gets so many extra turns via his charge mechanic makes it so much better to run, because he felt clunky before, but now he just feels really, really strong. So that's going to be the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and until next time, guys, see ya.